So the English language is riddled with little nuances and in a lot of ways makes it one of the most difficult languages because I can speak a word, but then I can define this word in many a broad sense and actually break the boundaries and definition of what the word truly means and ascribe it to some other value and some other entity. For example, when we talk about a plant that is organized, the organization itself is what makes the plant unique because it's organized in a different way and in a different manner than other plants and other things even. So in a sense, its organization of its molecular, its cellular, its material makeup make it a plant, and even further than that, it will distinguish it from other types of plants, and then even further than that, its makeup, its structure, its organization will actually distinguish it from other plants of its same type, the same species, so to speak. Now, I can then, in a lot of ways, parallel this whole idea to another dimension of reality, and that being a plant which manufactures goods. And you're saying, well, what is he talking about? Well, what I'm talking about is I'm going to use the word business and associate it with the term plant this time. There's a manufacturing plant, and this manufacturing plant is organized in a certain way which distinguishes it as a manufacturing plant. The way that the manufacturing plant is organized will distinguish it from other manufacturing plants of different or of the same type of plant. And in this, the plant will produce, and what it produces actually distinguishes it from other things as well. And so there we have the dimensionality between a business manufacturing plant and an organic biological manufacturing plant which produces goods in and of itself, which distinguishes it from other plants, same as the manufacturing plant on the corporate view of things. And looking at the looking glass from that sort of aspect, we have a manufacturing plant which produces goods, and these goods distinguish it from other organizations and other organized forms of matter. And it's kind of funny, it's almost like if anybody's ever seen Osmosis Jones, we're like in this big old fractal universe where, the plant, the manufacturing one, from the business perspective, from our personal dimension, is powered by humans, which in a lot of ways play the role of the cells. And, you can make the relation to the city that we live within, and it's like everybody takes on their own role and their specific specified profession. And, within your body, you have certain cells which play certain roles, and it's almost paralleled to human nature and society itself. And so we see a lot of these same principles, falling into a lot of the same fashion. And it's one of the most kind of euphoric things about the English language, but then also one of the most confusing because these things house a lot of relation through our observation and also their function as well. And somebody who's really scientific might say, well, you're comparing like apples to oranges here. They're really not the same, and the science and the mechanism behind the behavior and the structure and organization itself really has no relation. But it has more relation than non-relation. So yeah, sure, we are comparing things here that are completely different. I'm talking about a biological plant, and I'm obviously talking about a building which manufactures goods. But what I'm trying to point out is the similarities between these two, between the two dimensions themselves, and also the similarities between the English language, which actually describes the two and can cause a massive amounts of confusion, but then also a sense of euphoria as we, understand and see that, hey, the language itself sounds similar between the two because in a lot of ways they are the same thing, all, just in a different perspective, in a different dimension. And they're definitely more similar than different, So that being said, when you're comparing sciences and other facets of knowledge, it's like more similar is still more similar than not being similar at all. So whether or not it's true, it's still, more similar than being complete and polar opposites. So there's that. Well, anyways, just the thought I've been having. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace out.